Simple question. You buying this Noland's bomber story? Mr. Jabbar? He didn't bomb anything. It's like we had here in New York years ago. We had the Times Square bomber. They found propane tank in an M80. And they called him a bomber. He didn't bomb anything. This guy had the potential to bomb. Now, in my very important, and I hope you subscribe to it, in my newsletter, I ask some very, very important critical questions of this. Very, very important. You see, they're saying now that he had this feller, this Shamsud-Din Jabbar. Is that Italian? Any event, they said that he used anything. They found this explosive component called arsalt. And they called it was used in the terror attack. They keep saying it was used. I don't know how it was used. It was a truck which horribly did this. But it's been drawing significant attention from everybody across the entire spectrum, because they keep saying he used this rare type of explosive due to its unusual appearance in a domestic incident. This is so strange. But again, they didn't use anything. They found it. Now, while arsalt is often described as rare, a more accurate characterization is that it has been rarely used outside the Middle East. And the compound has been a notable frequency of use in that region, where it's valued for its performance, which nearly matches that of RDX, which is the primary component of military-grade C4, as you all know. Now, unlike many IEDs, arsalt is relatively easier to synthesize, but it requires a blasting cap to detonate. Simple ignition methods, like a fuse, will not suffice. Now, it seems to be unlikely that the now very and unavailable for comment Mr. Jabbar stumbled upon arsalt by chance or through casual research, because the synthesis and the handling of it require a level of expertise suggesting formal training. Now, this raises serious questions about where and how he acquired such knowledge. While the compound has not been documented in terror attacks within the United States or Europe, its use here points, people think, to a level of sophistication that aligns more with organized training than self-taught experimentation. And some folks, some experts and advisors and commentators and the like, speculate that Jabbar may have been trained by an instructor or somebody with a chemistry or explosives background, possibly with an academic or clandestine setting. And the question remains, why didn't he use it? As in detonate or explode it. Guys walking around with meta glasses, scoping everything out, and he leaves us behind. He says, the hell, I got a truck. I'll just do that. You don't think, wait a minute, wait. You don't think this was some kind of a psyop, false flag kind of, no, that's crazy, right? But here's the question. If you look at the military background of this feller, which focused on human resources and IT, and his expertise with arsalt likely came from some sources external to his official military service. And whether this knowledge came from exposure to overseas folks or handlers or covert instruction or whatever it is, this case stinks to high heaven. And I'm asking you, you buying this? You buying this story? Does this make any sense to you? That's really it. How does someone with no combat or demolitions experience, as outlined in his military background, manage to acquire the requisite skills to construct, you don't just buy this, but to construct advanced explosive devices with rare components like arsalt? And why would he, Jabbar, an alleged lone wolf or lone woof, as Kirkpatrick would call him, why would he use advanced technologies like Meta smart glasses and sophisticated explosives without any apparent assistance or external logistical support? And what were they for? To drive down the... I got that on Waze. I don't need anything for that. Again, I'm not trying to mock this, but given his recorded... Oh, I love this. The alleged pledge. Remember this? He recorded this pledge to ISIS and the complex nature of his preparation and all this stuff. Is it plausible? Does it make sense to you that he reacted entirely alone? Or are there huge gaps and areas, holes in the investigation? And if our salt is rarely used outside the Middle East and requires specialized training, does this not imply a deeper network? Shall we go deeper for that? Or is that the purpose of this? Again, it wasn't used. And why is there so little clarity about how he could have accessed and utilized such? Well, if you're expecting somebody or some folks from Fox News to get it, you are out of your mind. And if you expect anybody from the mainstream media to do this, you're out of your mind. You're crazy. Ain't going to happen. Because they are repeaters, not reporters. They are not interested in delving and plumbing the depths and unpacking, as they say. They always love to unpack. They're not interested in that. They're interested in just saying nothing. Nothing. That's all they want to do, is to say nothing. No hits, no runs, no errors. They can't talk about election denial. They can't talk about immunization. They can't talk about anything. Nothing. And what's the purpose? We're in charge, right? Our side won. Let's start asking questions, or better yet, I got a better. Let's just scrap this media and go to the sources that I go to and that you go to, like me. And by the way, here's something. 87% of the people who watch me never subscribe. That's bizarre. People on a regular basis. So subscribe, I respectfully request. Make sure you like this video. And more importantly, make sure you comment. Listen to me. Comment as you see fit.